Namaskar. I'm Shirish Shanbhag, lawyer. Today I'm going to speak on stamp duty as applicable to real estate property. For real estate property, whether it is a flat, bungalow, or even land, when you are buying it, you have to pay stamp duty as applicable. And sometimes some advocates also say, hey, it is not necessary. You just do it on 100 rupees stamp paper and notarize it. And anything on which any agreement on which proper stamp duty is not paid, that is an invalid document. Okay. So if you are having an invalid document, then you don't get a right on the property that for which you are paying the money. And therefore, stamp duty has to be paid fully as applicable for that property, real estate property. And sometimes people say, why we have to do registration? When you are doing a registration after paying the stamp duty on the agreement, then that agreement becomes a legally holds true on your name. That seller cannot resell same property to any other second buyer, knowingly that said property is sold to somebody. By chance he sells it, you have got a full right to claim right even in the trial court on your property because it is registered. That sale deed is registered. Now here, I hope that paying the full stamp duty and registration is clear to you. Now, for any real estate property, within 4 months, maximum within 4 months of paying the stamp duty, you'll have to register the property. If you are not paying, if you are not registering in 4 months of paying the stamp duty, remember, paying the stamp duty, you may pay the stamp duty, you may sign after a few days or months, but the date of paying the stamp duty is important. After 4 months of paying the stamp duty on the agreement, you still can register. However, for next 4 months only, and the registration charges fine will be 25% for every month. And after 8 months of paying the stamp duty, you cannot register the agreement. But if you have paid full stamp duty, the agreement is fully valid, but that you are not protected against resale of your property by the seller of the property to the second person. And therefore, it is most essential that within a reasonable time, that is within 4 months, you register it. Now here, sometimes you are not getting the seller for registration work. If you are not getting the seller for registration work or even for sale deed, then you can make a special power of attorney with the seller or even for the buyer also with the person who is ready to sign on his behalf on 500 rupees stamp paper and register with sub-register of assurances, and with that on behalf of the seller or buyer, that power of attorney holder can validly do the registration, paying the stamp duty, signing the sale deed, and registration of the sale deed with the sub-register of assurances. Here, you are having the stamp duty depending on your buyer who is going to take that property. If you are selling it to any person, the stamp duty is 5% plus 1% recently lodged 1% facility charges. That facility charges means that in Mumbai we are having that monorail and all other facilities for which the government want to raise the money, and because of that facility charges are levied in mostly in the metro cities, like Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, and for small cities where such facilities doesn't exist, of course, even Thane also and Raigad, that facility charges doesn't exist, and it is the stamp duty is only 5%. Also, that when you are doing the deal with your near relatives, like your children, your spouse, or your near relatives, like a brother, sister, then you can do a gift deed. In the gift deed, money transaction is not involved, but on the market value of the things that you are gifting, on which that stamp duty you have to pay. The near relatives like children, grandchildren, and spouse, that stamp duty is only 200 rupees, registration charges is only 200 rupees, but 1% facility charges of that market value of that property that you are gifting, you will have to pay with the along with the stamp duty. Now here, that when you are making an agreement for a property which is yet to come, like a building under construction is there. However, that builder can make an agreement with you, provided that building plan of that building in which he is selling the flat to you is approved by concerned municipality or municipal corporation, its town planning department. And when that building plan is approved, then that in that plan, whatever that you are flat that you are going to buy, that flat you can very much choose, and the that uh, plan of that floor with that your flat plan marked by crossed lines, that will be the part of your sale deed. And when the plan is passed by town planning department of the local body, then if that builder subsequently changes the plan, then you can go to the court and get the relief. However, if you are making an agreement, you are registered agreement with the plan which is not approved by the local body, then you will not get any relief. If he makes a plan with you with 800 square feet carpet area, and then he gives you some 600 square feet carpet area for the same price, then you have no way to go to court of law, because that plan, whatever he has put, is unapproved. Now here, that in the building, that conveys the after builder sells all the flats, that builder and the landowner has to give conveyance. Conveyance means that housing society of that building, whatever is formed, or condominium, or the apartment uh, uh, deed that is formed, or a public limited that is formed of that building. That building can be registered in three ways. One is that cooperative housing society, then another is condominium. That means each and every flat, they are taken as a separate unit, and they form just to have that common facility like cleaning, water, drainage. They form a association of condominium, and then they divide those expenses among themselves. And public limited company, just like any other company, that flat owners can form that public limited company and register with registrar of companies. So one of the three out of which that forming the cooperative housing society is the best way, because that we are having the government officer, that is sub-register of cooperative society, available in every taluka, and he can redress your complaints with the managing committee of that building. Now here, that when society, cooperative housing society is asking for a conveyance. Conveyance means that when all flats are sold
in that building and cooperative housing society is formed, then that the ownership of that building and the land can be given to the cooperative housing society, that is called conveyance. Now for conveyance deed, that builder and the landowner has to give that to the cooperative housing society. Now here, if the conveyance deed, if that landowner and the builder are not ready to give the conveyance deed, then do the conveyance deed. In that case, in 2011, government has formed a deemed conveyance. That means that district deputy registrar of cooperative societies is given a special right to sign the conveyance deed on behalf of the landowner and the builder for that cooperative housing society or condominium or for the public limited company of that building. Okay, for all the three, that district deputy registrar is the competent authority for passing the deemed conveyance order and signing the deemed conveyance deed for all these three types of institution of the housing. Now, when you make the conveyance deed, that conveyance deed has to be adjudicated. Adjudicated means that it is to be seen legally whether that on conveyance deed the stamp duty is paid fully or not, and that conveyance deed on which that all the flats that they are sold, that they're indexed to. Index to means when you are making a sale deed of any flat, that sub-register office gives you a 1 or 2 page, a summary page or of that sale deed, that is called index 2. And index 2, you have got this one chances that to know that flat holder has registered the agreement. Either you get the whole copy of 50 to 100 pages of that agreement, or you get only 1 or 2 pages of index 2. So naturally, if your society is having large number of flats, you will go for the copy of the index 2 to know whether stamp duty on that index 2, that area of the flat and how much stamp duty is paid, which year it is paid, and when it is registered, everything will be stated. So therefore, with all these index 2 of all the flats in that building, when it is given for adjudication to collector of stamps. Now I would like to make clear here who is collector of stamps and whether he is a different collector than the district collector. Yes, that a revenue officer who is looking after the administration of the district is called district collector. He is looking after the buildings, land situated in a district. And another revenue officer called collector of stamps, he is also IAS officer. He has got work only to see how much stamp duty has to be taken on given type of deed. Just we don't have that sale deed. We are having gift deed, we are having mortgage deed, and so many other types of deed we are having. So all types of deed, and even affidavit is also a type of deed. Indemnity bond. So on which how much stamp duty is to be charged, how much registration charges has to be levied, that collector of stamp determines. Every district has the district collector, that revenue department, and collector of stamps for determining the stamp duty on this one, on your sale deed or any type of deed. Collector of stamp, to whom when you are submitting the deed, to know whether how much stamp duty you have to pay if you are not paid the stamp duty, or if you have paid stamp duty, to know whether the stamp duty is correctly paid or any deficient stamp duty exists, okay, so for which that at collector of stamp you'll have to make an application that with the that deed on which you want to see the determine the stamp duty, and that application form for determining the or adjudication means to determine or judge how much stamp duty has to be taken by the collector of stamp. That one form is there. That form is not just one page, about 10 pages, that different pages, there are so many things you have to fill up, and along with it, with 5 rupees court fee stamp attached to it, and some 100 to 300 rupees, that process charge online you have to pay, and then you have to submit that your agreement with its Xerox copy, put in a file to the collector of stamp. Now, collector of stamp has got 45 days to determine how much that stamp duty and registration charges on the deed that you are submitted has to be taken. Maximum 45 days. He may just do it in 15 days also if he has not much work for adjudication. When you are submitting, that clerk will tell you after how many days you will have to come. Surely not beyond 45 days. Okay. Then when you are getting that from the collector of stamps, you are getting a two challenge. That one challenge for payment of full or deficient stamp duty, and another challenge for payment of registration charges. That these two will have to pay in the bank, or you can do online payment and get that your payment receipt and submit that payment receipt to the collector of stamp. The collector of stamp online verify that you are properly paid, and then on that deed he will put that stamp, his office stamp. It is usually a printed line nowadays, not a violet color stamp, stating that stamp duty and registration charges on the deed which is submitted for the adjudication has been fully paid. And after that, you get time to register that. Okay, so that meeting the same condition, that is within 4 months of payment of the stamp duty, you will have to register that deed with the sub-register of assurances. Then you go to sub-register of assurances with the seller and the buyer and 2 witnesses, and register the sale deed or your conveyance deed. Now, I had talked now before just now that conveyance deed of a building. Now, on the conveyance deed, you may be asked to pay small amount of stamp duty on some of the free area of the building, and registration charges, it is always 30,000 rupees, and after you pay you can register that. Now here that payment of deficient stamp duty, sometimes some of the people, they do the agreement, and before doing the agreement, the procedure is you have to do the agreement to the submit the agreement for adjudication to the collector of stamps, and after he gives his order for payment of stamp duty and registration charges, that time only that it is to be registered. Sometimes some people, they pay the stamp duty and do not register at all. But when it comes for adjudication of the conveyance deed of the building, in that conveyance deed, every flat's stamp duty is found, and that flat's, that deficient stamp duty, whatever is made, that with the adjudication of the conveyance deed, that collector of stamp will give the list of the flats and the deficient stamp duty that is paid on each of the flat, and then total will be given. The total has to be paid by the society, and since the deficient stamp duty against the flat is given, the society can recover that from that flat owner, and with that monthly bill. This way, that stamp duty can be paid on the conveyance deed and registered. Now here, that sometimes I have got some questions from the people that whether you'll have to see when you are buying the flat, whether you'll have to see line of agreement. It is always better that you should see line of agreement of the flat, that is first agreement of the first buyer from the builder, and then second to third buyer, and like this. This is because that government has got a way of asking. It is just like asking for the ticket at Churchgate station. When you are going for a train journey, when you are going out of the Churchgate station, hardly you will find any TC there. However, if you are not having a railway ticket and TC catches you, he will not leave you. You will not say, so many people are going, you are catching me only. No. Same way, if that government feels that it should check the line of deeds of your flat, then it may give you a notice to submit the line of sale deed of your flat, and then you have to submit each. If the sale deeds are not registered, then you will have to submit each and every unregistered sale deed for adjudication and pay the deficient stamp duty along with the fine. How much fine government is charging on deficient stamp duty? You should know that government is charging 2% per month from the date that is due for the deficient stamp duty. Let us say on a sale deed, that person has to pay some 10,000 rupees stamp duty. Just to save the stamp duty, he paid only 5,000 rupees, and because he paid less stamp duty, that sale deed cannot be registered. So he kept it with him. And then when that line change came, that time you find that your third person, that person who sold you, that before him, from whom he bought, that your seller, that deed has not registered, and stamp duty is paid only 5,000. Then that when government order comes, that you have to give that agreement for adjudication, and while adjudicating, that government finds that 5,000 rupees less paid, and on that less paid 5,000 rupees, on which every month 2% fine. Apart from paying the 5,000, fine will be there 2%. 2% month means for one year how much? 24%. For the sake of simplicity, you make 25%. In 4 year how much? 100%. Okay. Now 8 year how much? 200%. 16 year how much? It is 400%. Government has put on itself a condition that government will not collect more than 400% of fine on deficient stamp duty. So therefore, if the deed is made some 20 years ago, it will collect only 400%, that is on 5,000 rupees, that is 20,000 rupees fine only. It is not collecting more fine because government has put on itself that it will collect only that 400% fine, and that way you can regularize that deed. But mind it, even if you regularize the deed, you cannot register the deed because 8 months have already passed. That earlier, before 2011, it was possible to register even a sale deed at any time. But some builders took disadvantage of this facility, and therefore, after 2011, government stopped that late registration of a unregistered agreement. Okay. Now here, this way that you have to pay if the government sends you a notice. And remember that if you get such a notice, okay, how government determines the notice? Let me explain to you. Okay, your flats agreement is computerized and digitized. It remains a permanent document. Okay, while checking your agreement, that government person gets who sold you. Okay, then that government person will put on that computer that your flat's address, and when he puts your flat's address, out of including you buyer, other three sellers, okay, other three sellers, out of which one seller's deed is not shown. That means seller one, his deed is shown, seller two not shown, seller three is shown, and seller four is shown. You are the buyer from the fourth seller, okay? And then that, because for your flat, that government person got three persons sale deed details and missing second person. So it will ask you that chain of document, and then it is a hell of a job that you will have to do. If the document is not found, unregistered document is very difficult to find out. Then you may have to pay some heavy fine for that missing document. Okay, so of course procedure is there, but government may go to the extent of that for confiscating your flat or dehousing you if you are not ready to pay any of the earlier sale deeds, stamp duty on the sale deed of the line of sale deed of your flat. Okay. Now here, this is the way, this is the thing on the sale deed. Now I have talked about the sale deed of a flat. The same thing holds good when you are buying a bungalow. Same thing holds good when you are buying a land. However, if you are buying a flat in a condominium, the condominium means it is a bungalow in a building. It is a bungalow kept one over other. Okay, and because of that, that condominium holder's name should come in the land records of that building. Which are the land records of the building? There are two land records. One is 7/12 extract maintained by Tahsildar. Of course, it is maintained by Tahsildar, but through his Talati. Talati comes under Tahsildar. 7/12 extract and mutation entry in Form 6. And another land record maintained by City Survey Office. Now, that land record is called property card. Now, these two land record on which each of the condominium holder, okay, flat holder, their name is coming with each. When you are selling that flat in the condominium, you will have to go to Talati office and ask the Talati to put the name by replacing the seller's name. Same way that at the city survey office, that your name will come, that buyers of the condominium apartment whose name will come in the property card of that condominium. Okay, so I have seen in Mumbai and Pune that lot of people buy the flats in condominium and they fail to put their name in the land record of that condominium. You may ask whether such thing is not necessary when you are buying the flat in a cooperative housing society. No, in a cooperative housing society, when that society makes that conveyance, that whole buildings, that means society's name comes in the 7/12 extract and the property card. That society's name comes. And what society gives you? It gives you share certificate. Okay. So share certificate is the sure sign that you are the owner of that flat in that housing cooperative housing society. Okay. And when you are having that limited company, public limited company of that building, in which case also that individual flat name comes in the property card and 7/12 extract of that building's land. So this is the things which you have to keep it in your mind when you are buying the flat of the building, which is condominium or apartments. Okay, now or in public limited company of the building. Now here that I have given you sufficiently high information on the stamp duty as applicable to a housing building. I say housing building because housing building can be registered as a cooperative housing society, condominium, or a public limited company. And if you are having any question, you may ask me.
If a particular land has got in the Satbara entry a minor name, who is below 8 years, can the guardian, the parents sell his property, or court permission is required? Mandatory?
Court permission required. A civil court permission is required, and with the court permission, that you only you can sell the property.
Thank you, sir. And another question,
Yeah.
that if a registration,
Before
Yeah.
selling the property, that parent's name should come in the property card or Satbara, whatever
Satbara.
that land document you are having. Because
Okay, sir.
document will not just the land document, that is registered document, is not the only document when it is concerned with land, that in the land also that child's name with the parent's name, it will come. And when you are selling it, you have to give that your court order to the Talati, and Talati will register that. Because of this court order, this land is become sellable, and then you can sell it. And for your sale deed, that child's birth certificate and the court order should be the part of the sale deed, along with the index 2 of your sale deed,
but
of buying that land.
Can this happen that court will refuse to sell it because of some? Is it possible that to avoid the court order and directly sell?
No. For when you bought the land in the name of minor, you will have to go for the court order only. Okay.
Now, if a particular proof documents are not supplied, the court may refuse this sale also. Like court will ask for the
Not court will
reason.
ask. You cannot make the agreement now. That sub-registrar will not register your agreement. Sub-registrar will say, in order to register the agreement, because that minor will not sign. So you will sign on behalf of minor. And when you are going to register that agreement, the sub-registrar of assurance where you are going to register the agreement, he will say that get me the court order, otherwise I will not register.
So the minor, after attaining the age of 18, can he make this order agreement null and void also? After
if the minor becomes 18-year-old, okay, with his birth certificate, he can make that sale deed.
No, if the say, okay, sir. And I have another question.
Yeah.
If in a Satbara, if a land is registered and the Satbara entry is not done, mutation entry is not done due to some maybe reasons, and after 10 years we want to make the mutation Satbara entry after the registration.
See, when you are purchasing the land, you will have to go to and make an application with the Talati, okay, and with the copy of that sale deed and its index 2, okay, you have to make an application to the Talati, and Talati takes the hearing and he calls the seller of the land also. In 99% cases, seller will not come because they know that I have received the money, why I should come. And then ex parte, decision is passed, and that he will enter your name in that mutation entry in Form 6, and that Satbara in your name, that is in your child's name, along with you as a guardian, he will give you. It is, and if there is any delay from your Talati side, you can make a complaint against Talati to the Tahsildar. His Tahsildar will take cognizance of your complaint, and Tahsildar is not taking, then you make a Lok Shahidin complaint to the district collector about Tahsildar of that district.
Okay,
Collector takes Lok Shahidin complaint hearing on first Monday of the month, and he will pass the order to the Tahsildar asking him to do the mutation of the land and 7/12 extract. I have done it so many things. No need to give anything under table.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you. And suppose that there is a delay in approaching the talati for
Huh?
if there is a delay in approaching a talati after doing the stamp duty and registration, the mutation entry, Satbara entry of for that purpose, there is a delay of like 5 years or 10 years for
5 years means, so it is you who is dealing, sir. It
Yeah,
is
yeah.
you who is dealing, sir. Huh?
Yes, sir.
That
Yeah.
he is given, Talati is given 30 days time to do it. And if 30 days time is not done, then we'll have to make complaint against Talati to Tahsildar. If Tahsildar is not doing any 30 days time, you'll have to make a complaint, Lok Shahidin complaint to the collector. And collector is doing within 90 days. Okay?
Yeah.
Huh?
No, I'm not talking anything from the Talati side. From our side, if we have not approached the Talati at all, and after 7 to 8 years, we approach the Talati, kindly do the Satbara entry. We have done the stamp duty and registration 10 years before. Is it possible, or is there any limitation period for approaching the Talati?
I have not understood your problem. See, Talati has to do that when you make the application.
Sir,
But
he is saying that what if there is a delay
from the
on
purchase side?
the side of the purchaser?
Oh, if the side of the purchaser, if there is delay, then
Is there-
we cannot help it. However,
No,
if delay is there, then by taking the fresh certified copy of your agreement, that agreement for change should be within 3 months certified by the sub-registrar of assurances. Okay? You take a fresh certified copy of your agreement and make a fresh application and do it. If delays from your side, it doesn't matter. You have given a chance to the seller of the land to resell it to somebody else. But fortunately, if that is not done, then you are saved from going to court.
Okay, yeah. So there is no limitation. Let's say after 3 or 5 years we are doing it, then also it's okay, na? Talati has to do the entry, right?
I'm telling you now, when you make the application, within 1 month, Talati has to do. If it is not done in 30 days, make complaint against Talati to Tahsildar.
No, sir.
gets
He's
1
asking
month's
there's
time.
no period.
Okay?
Sir, he's asking there's no period of
And then
limitation.
after a second month, you make a complaint against Tahsildar to Lok Shahidin complaint to the collector.
No, yes, there is a case that the purchaser has done the stamp duty and registration, but he has not approached the Talati, and after now 7 years, he is approaching the Talati for doing the Satbara entry. So Talati is telling that you have to do the registration again. So
No, not at all. If he is refusing for registration, no, registration again is wrong. Okay? Once the registration is done and you are registered that with the sub-registrar of assurances, then that is the correct thing. You are not to do second time registration on the same deed. If Talati says so, then you submit that application to the Tahsildar. Tahsildar will direct.
okay, sir. Yeah. So we can give him the certified copy of the registration document and ask him to do the entry.
Yeah. Certified copy along with certified copy of the index 2. Index 2 means summary page of the registration document. That and one that form is available with Tahsildar's office or copies around Tahsildar's office or Talati's office. After the form, do that. If the Talati is not accepting, give it to the Tahsildar.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Any questions?
Okay, sir. Now we are taking questions from the next participant.
Hello, any questions?
Hello.
Speak.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Thanks for your insight. Sir, I just wanted to know, suppose there is an agreement, joint venture agreement pertaining to the development of the land is executed in 2010, but that time, suppose the stamp duty and registration have not done. So at present, and suppose that that land is situated in Andhra Pradesh.
One minute. That agreement is done on 100 rupees stamp paper and registered with the notary.
No, sir.
You have paid the stamp duty and registered with sub-registrar of assurances.
Yeah, actually, this was the agreement which was done. This was a stamp duty was not paid on that, and it was not registered. It is normal.
If you are not paid the stamp duty on the agreement is useless. That's all.
Okay. So at present, it cannot be done.
There is no wait.
Okay. At present, that it is cannot be done like paying stamp duty or on that and registration. Adjudication cannot be done. Suppose it's
No,
executed
no,
2010.
listen, you have made any agreement,
Mhm.
okay? If you have made an agreement with the seller of the flat, okay? Huh?
It is for the
And-
land, sir. It is for the land.
Okay, land.
Yeah.
Land.
Mhm.
Okay, seller of the land. And if you have not paid the stamp duty properly, or even if you have paid the stamp duty properly, give that agreement for adjudication to the collector of stamp. Collector of stamp is a correct person who will see that whether that stamp duty is correctly paid or not. Okay, and
Mhm.
where that land is located in its district collector's office, that collector of
Mhm.
stamp will be sitting, and to the collector of stamp you give that with the application is there, some 7-8 page application, along with this that you are sale deed with its Xerox copy in a file. You'll have to give it on that application form. That 5 rupees court fee stamp will have to affix and pay some 100 rupees or 300 rupees adjudication fees online, and that you can do it from the typist sitting around that collector of stamp, and submit it within maximum 45 days. The collector of stamp will give you a letter that you have properly paid the stamp duty, or anything deficit stamp duty you will have to pay. If deficit stamp duty is there, along with the stamp duty, that 2% per month, that your surcharge on deficient stamp duty, collector will ask you to pay by a challan. With that challan, you can pay it in a bank, which they will guide you, or online payment also possible, and the receipt you submit to the collector of stamp. Then collector of stamp will put the this one, his stamp is nowadays, it is not a violet color stamp, it is just a line printed in a computer, printed by computer printing, stating that the deficit stamp duty of this much amount is paid, and that adjudicated means fully paid stamp duty, fully paid agreement will give it to you. If from the last paid, means first time paid stamp duty, and today after you get that agreement, if the delay is less than 8 months, you can register the document. If it is more than 8 months, then you cannot register the document. And
Okay.
for not registering the document, that talati or tahsildar will not take any action against you, because registering the document is in the interest of the buyer and not cheating the government for saving on the registration fees. And they themselves know that after 8 months, the deficient stamp duty is only accepted, registration is not possible. Anything?
Okay. Okay. Suppose these both the parties are internal, sir. So then I think there won't be make any difference to register if we cannot register the same.
No, no. If the 8 months time from the first registration,
It's around
first
15,
stamp duty paid
15 to
is
20
passed,
years.
then you cannot do the registration now.
Okay, but if considering the time period is around 15 to 20 years, so
No,
there won't be any difference, no? Because it's
whatever
around
that
15 to.
whatever that stamp duty as applicable, you'll have to pay that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir. My voice is audible.
Audible.
We have purchased a flat in a special. We have purchased a flat in a special township, and right now we want to proceed for conveyance. But the problem is the number of the persons and the flats is exceeding more than 800. So how we can proceed? We tried
No, I
for
didn't
the
understand your
association
problem.
of persons. We have purchased a flat in a special township, more
Huh?
than 400 acres, and
Sir,
more than
sir,
400
they have
acres.
purchased a flat in a
No. Yeah,
Yes,
plot or
yes.
flat you say?
Flat.
Flat. Huh.
flat,
Okay.
sir, flat
Yes.
in a special township.
In which township?
Special township.
Then
Special township. and it's not allowing us for doing conveyance. Builder is not sharing any document. How we
1
can
minute,
proceed?
1 minute.
Sir, there are more than 800 members.
That you purchase in the building, that buildings, all purchasers, okay? If the purchaser is, if the building has got 40 flats, then if little more, 51% flat holders come together, 51% means 21 flat holders come together and they can register that society of that building with the register, sub-register of cooperative societies. Once you register the society of that building, after 4 months of registration, you write a letter to the landowner and the builder asking him to, you not after 4 months, after 3 months you write him that to the landowner and the builder, asking them separate letters, same content but separate letters, asking them to give conveyance within 30 days of your letter, or you will go for deemed conveyance. I told you to give this notice after 30 days, 90 days, that means 3 months of formation of the cooperative housing society, that is registration of the housing society. And you are giving 1 month's time to them to give the conveyance. After 1 month's time is over, that society gets a eligibility to go for deemed conveyance. And for going for the deemed conveyance, I am having the list of documents, and the list of documents, certainly you can get it to the B group. I will send it to the P group. Each document from which source you can get. For example, registration of the society for the building from sub-registrar of assurances, that 7/12 extract of the society's land from Talati office, that property card of the society's land from city survey office, approved building plan from town planning department of the municipality outside Mumbai, and inside Mumbai from building proposal department of the BMC. Like this, I have given that, and along with it, you can get that 25 documents and make a copy. It becomes a bulge. That means in a box file, you have to put it and submit it to the competent authority who gives the conveyance order, deemed conveyance order. Who is the competent authority? District Deputy Registrar of Cooperative Societies of your area is the competent authority to give the deemed conveyance order and sign on the deemed conveyance deed for cooperative housing societies, for condominium, and under cooperative and buildings under, and for the buildings under public limited companies. And here, after you submit that application for deemed conveyance, there will be 3 hearings, monthly hearing. After you first submit, next month 1 hearing, next to next, like this, within 3 hearings, that order will be passed. Hearing may continue for 6 months. Within 6 months, that order has to be passed. And with that order, you can make conveyance deed, submit it to the collector of stamp for adjudication of the stamp duty on the conveyance deed, and you have to take signature for on the conveyance deed for builder and the landowner from district deputy registrar, who is competent authority of deemed conveyance. And then your society's person will go and register that deemed conveyance deed with sub-registrar of assurances, and with the copy, sub-registrar of assurances, registered copy of the deemed conveyance deed, you can apply with the Talati's office to get that 7/12 extract of the land in society's name. You can apply at the city survey office to get that property card in society's name. So after you do these 2 documents, you will apply again at city survey office to get the society's map of land by doing survey by them. So with this, that everything is completed. Followed? Nobody can just prevent you from going for the deemed conveyance. And if that even if there are some builders who take in writing while giving that your flats agreement that you will not go for deemed conveyance, and even if if make such a sale deed, that sale deed is intra-virus in the sense it has got no ultra-virus. It has got no value under the law to prevent you from going for the deemed conveyance. Ultra-virus, that such a deed, you cannot say that even if that builder says that he will not give deemed conveyance, forget it. First to register the society in the non-cooperation of the builder, and then you do the deemed conveyance. And I'm sitting at an NGO Money Life Foundation rather on every Thursday between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock to guide people free of charge for any difficulties in cooperative housing society or your flats. And then there you can come there after taking the appointment, that the foundation will give you those numbers, and with your documents you come, guide you. I am guiding there for last 10 years, and some 20 people, by taking my guidance without paying anything under table, they have done the deemed conveyance in 11 districts in Maharashtra state, including Mumbai, Thane, and Raigad, our nearest district.
And so last year you had also done a webinar. It's there on the YouTube channel on deemed conveyance. Yeah. I
Any-
think so. The participant went on mute. We'll take query from the next participant.
Yeah, the participant just now we have asked, he got the full satisfaction.
Sir, we are trying to unmute him. Participants on our YouTube channel, sir has conducted a webinar on deemed conveyance last year, which was uploaded last year on our YouTube channel. So in case you all want any more elaboration on deemed conveyance, you all can get an in-depth understanding. It's right there on our YouTube channel.
And for personal guidance, I am giving guidance step by step. See, some 21 people from 11 district of Maharashtra state, they took deemed conveyance guidance from me. I am not telling everything. There are 5 steps for deemed conveyance, and every step, that first step is getting the deemed conveyance order. So I give that first step, this one, and this top document that is needed to be submitted to the district deputy registrar or competent authority of the deemed conveyance. And then next step, that is adjudication of conveyance deed. Like this, I am giving you the guidance, and that guidance is available on every Thursday. Of course, you have to take the appointment at Money Life Foundation's office at Dadar Chowpatty between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock every Thursday. Some 21
Okay, sir.
taken from 11 districts of Maharashtra, that deemed conveyance guidance from me, and successfully they have done it.
Okay. So there is one question on the chat box. What is the correct position of stamp duty payable on agreement for sale? On an agreement for sale.
Now here, strictly speaking, that agreement for sale and sale deed, these two are different things. But usually that people pay that full stamp duty. Suppose if the builder is giving you a flat and he takes from you that money for your flat step by step, because the building is under construction, and when it takes step by step, that you can take maximum up to less than 10% without making the agreement for the full value of the flat. Okay, and if you are taking 10% of the value, full value of the flat, then you will have to make an agreement by paying full stamp duty as applicable for the full value. And in that you will have to write that the steps, after how many months that second installment, third installment, fourth installment, last installment. You may have some 10 installments, or you may have only 4 installments. So after paying all those installments, after paying 10%, remaining 90%, how you are paying? Huh? That you have to write it in that agreement and register it. Okay, when you register it, then by chance, if you don't, that flat is not in your hand, you have not put lock and key to the flat. So therefore, that surely that agreement, even if it is made, you have not got the property in your hand. And similarly, when that flat is fully done, that builder will put his lock to your flat, and he will give you the key of the flat when you make the 100% payment to him. Okay, so that's all. And therefore, that for every flat when you are buying, that you have to make a agreement for the full value of the flat to safeguard your interest.
Okay. Sir, what are the documents required for formation of a cooperative housing society for an old building where the building wants to go for a redevelopment?
No. See, you are asking two different questions.
Yes, sir, this is a different
Formation
question.
of the housing society and redevelopment. These two are the two different questions. Okay. Now that it looks that you are referring to a Pagadi building, it looks like, because you
Sir,
say
I
that
will do one
formation
thing,
of
sir.
huh?
Sir, I'll ask that participant to raise hand and ask you the question directly.
Yeah,
This question.
yeah,
Okay. Sir,
yeah.
there's one participant raising hand. We'll first unmute and take then a direct question from that participant.
See, let me elaborate this answer.
Okay, sir.
When you are having a building under construction, mind it, building under construction, and in that building there are, for the sake of simplicity, there are 40 flats. Okay, there are 40 flats. Out of those 40 flats, 21 flats are sold, and building is still under construction. Such a building you can make a cooperative housing society, okay, of that proposed building. And that when you are submitting the papers to the sub register of assurances, okay, so you'll have to give that the name, that total number of flats list of of course, that in that application form, A form, B form, C form, D form, that you'll have to put everything, that is the name of the flat holder, area of the flats, the floor on which flat is located, everything you have to put, and wing in which flat is located, everything you have to put it. And after putting that those out of 40, 21 will sign. Sorry, yeah, 21 will sign. 50, more than 50% can form the society. And the remaining 19 cannot say we are not interested in joining the society. They should join the society compulsorily, okay, by rule. And then once you register that society, okay, it is much better, because you have got a power to fight against the builder if he makes any any unwanted things with your building, okay, delaying the giving of the possession or anything, because society will fight now, not individual people will fight. Now another way of registration of society, Pagadi building. Now Pagadi building, when it is given to you by the owner of the society, your flat, okay, then you all rentees become owner of the flat, and there also that 51% people can join and form the housing society. The remaining, that 49%, they have no option, they have to join you. Now here, this in second type of housing society, then that building being very old, then you go for redevelopment. I have seen 90% of the people building old buildings, those who have gone for redevelopment have stuck up. Redevelopment has to be done only when conveyance is done. Conveyance means that ownership of the building and ownership of that land is given to that housing society formed in the building, or conveyance to that condominium or public limited form of that building. Okay, so this step most of the people are missing, and sometimes people feel, अरे हमारा builder पोचेला है वो करेगा. No builder is doing. Even पोचेला builders are also not doing. What they do is they try to throw you on the road, that if the cooperative housing society is not formed and if the building is demolished, then that whatever that property card and land document has to be made not possible for the demolished building. Okay, so I don't remember the name. Same thing has happened to one building about 25 years back in Bandra, and one building at Borivali. Okay, so they didn't do the conveyance, the building collapsed, and building collapsed, on which that there is no conveyance, or that landowner and the builder got the possession of that building, and they can do whatever the way he like with that flat bias.
Okay, sir. Sir, in what conditions can the stamp duty amount be transferred to the buyer, to the new purchaser?
See, a buyer has to pay 5% of the market value of the flat. Okay, market value, huh? Government by the ready reckoner market value. Government has made one ready reckoner. Ready reckoner means that in the year 1985, government found that people are cheating the government. Then they sent their own people all over Maharashtra, different places, to find a land value, building value, and other places. And this way, they they found one ready reckoner, and the ready reckoner is the it contains that land value of the certain place with the uh, uh, city survey number and other things in about 1000 square meter area, that they will be giving that land value of that, or some big area also sometimes, and per square meter value of the flat. Okay, that they will be giving. And when you come with a sale deed, then that what if you come to the registration office with the sale deed to register the sale deed, then the sub register of assurances, he is having that ready reckoner value, ready reckoner book. He will just see whether you have paid the stamp duty properly as applicable for your area. And if the stamp duty is paid properly, okay, as per the ready reckoner value, or more than that possible, because now flat as per the ready reckoner in my area is 500 square feet area flat is by ready reckoner value 1 crore. But I have sold this flat to 1.10 crores. Then naturally I will pay more stamp duty, 5%. I can sell more than that. But if I sell it to my friend for 90 lakhs, but that my friend will not get any concession from the government. Government will take ready reckoner value 1 crore, that 5%. Okay. So that ready reckoner value, that stamp duty, one has to, whatever that applicable stamp duty, I say applicable stamp duty means for the sale deed, 5%. I say 5%. In Mumbai, it is 6%. In Mumbai, Thane, this Raigad, Pune, all such big cities, it is 6%. But still, it is basic stamp duty is 5%. Then on gift deed to a faraway relations like brother or sister, it is 2%, and near relations like spouse, parents, or children, just 200 rupees. And that way, that stamp duty and registration charges will be taken.
Okay. Sir, can we take a few more questions? Can we take a few more questions?
Yeah, sure. All right. Why two? You want 10 message? I can take, madam.
Okay, sir.
I'm used to sit for minimum 3 hours at Money Life Foundation, madam.
Okay,
And
sir.
3 hours become 5 hours there.
Okay.
Okay. Can I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Yes. Good evening, sir. This is Pawan Tikku, and thank you very much for your insight on stamp duty. There was a clarification I just wanted to check with you, sir. You just said that in a condominium, the individual flat owner can also go and ask for putting his name in the property card. Is this correct, sir?
Pardon, please repeat.
An
Sir,
individual flat owner.
Mr. Pawan, can you be a bit louder? Actually, sir
Okay,
can't. Yeah.
okay. Sir, can an individual flat owner in a condominium building registered as a condominium go for
Yeah. 1 minute. See, when a flat exists in a condominium, okay,
Sir, yes, sir.
that after that condominium, see, condominium is what? Let me tell you. It is just like a bungalow, okay? But
Okay,
you are not getting a land to build so many bungalow that bungalows you are keeping one over the other and making some 5-story, 6-story building, okay?
correct, sir.
It is that concept of that condominium, okay?
Correct, sir.
Now,
Ji, sir.
because you are there over one or other, then common water supply, drainage supply, common electric supply has to be made. So you form the condominium owners association for this
Correct,
work.
sir. Correct, sir.
And
Yes.
here that every condominium when it is sold,
Yes, sir.
that its registration has to be made at on the land record
Yes,
of
the
7
flats
by
have been
12, 7
Yes,
by
sir.
12 maintained at Talati office and
Correct.
property card land record, another land record made
Yes, sir.
at city survey office. And
Okay, sir.
this is a must for condominium.
Okay.
And I have seen in condominium 2-3 sales have taken place, and if that such a sale takes place, then you suppose a condominium or the flat number 1 bought from the builder, his name
Yes,
is
sir.
there in the property card and the 7 by 12 extract of the land. Then
Correct, sir.
that flat, the buyer number 1 sells to buyer number 2. However, buyer number 2 fails to put his name in property card and the
Saat bara, sir.
7 by 12 extract. Okay.
Ji, sir.
Then he sells after 5 years to buyer number 3.
Okay.
And when buyer number 3 is little aggressive,
Ji, sir.
before he buys, he asks him to show me your 7 by 12 extraction property card. In the
Okay.
society, in cooperative housing society, you ask to show the share certificate in
Share
which
certificate.
your name should come. The
Correct,
first
sir.
person's name is on the front side, second and
Correct.
subsequent persons, the buyer of the flat in resale, their names are on the back side. Okay.
Correct, sir.
And
Correct.
here, same way, that second person, before entering with him for the sale deed, he has to say that I want to see your name in that property
Sep-
card.
Property
and
card. Okay.
7 by 12 extract.
But sir, the problem is that
Not there,
currently,
then you have to ask, you put that name there, get those documents to me now.
okay.
And then they will become part of my sale deed. Okay.
Okay,
Huh?
sir. Okay. But the thing that currently the
Cooperative
problem
housing
is,
society, when you are selling the flat, okay,
yes, sir.
what you
Yes,
do,
sir.
you that your sale deeds index to copy and
Yes, sir.
that share certificate copy you attach. That means that in the building, that society that transferred that share certificate in your name. Here,
No, sir.
in
I'm
condominium,
just,
that
pardon me,
along
sir.
with the index 2, these 2 documents copy also should be there in that new sale deed.
I understand. Sir, my question is a little different, sir. My question is that in a condominium, in a building which is a condominium association of condominium building, the property card still has the name of the original owner. It does not have the name of the property condominium association
Oh.
of property condominium.
Listen.
Yes, sir.
When that condominium deed is made, okay?
Yes, sir.
That condominium deed, you have to find out who has made this, okay? Huh?
Okay, sir.
And that
Okay, sir.
if it is in that original owner, okay, he is the
Yes,
one of
sir.
the party to that deed, okay?
Correct.
You go
Correct,
and
sir.
ask him, or you do the search in the sub
Yes.
registrar's office to get
Okay, sir.
condominium deed, registered deed, and
Okay, sir.
those who are the people, those who are signatories to that condominium deed, that
Deed. Yes,
they
sir.
have to transfer those cards first in the name of the condominium, and
And
then
then
the,
individual names.
that list of flat owners will also come there, along with
Okay,
the
sir.
list of
Okay, sir.
flat
I
owners.
understand, sir. Now I understand, sir. Thank you so much for your help, sir. I understand, sir.
Oh, hello. Yeah, good evening, sir. This is Vaibhav Vinayak Varde. I have a question regarding the share certificate in a MHADA building.
जरा बड़ा आवाज से सुनिए नहीं.
I have a question regarding the share certificate, sir, in a MHADA building. This one flat was purchased in the 2007 in a newly formed MHADA building. And Taba Pauti was in the name of a lady, a widow lady. And since there is a rule that in a span of 10 years, the person who has got the Taba Pauti cannot sell the flat. That's why the notarized deed was made, sale deed was done, and the proper indemnity bond and affidavit of the legal heirs and was also done.
No. First you tell me
The
whether
question,
that MHADA building has got a society.
yeah, the flat was purchased in 2007 and the society was formed in 2010.
2010. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you, in that MHADA building, that MHADA only gives the conveyance. Okay. In the MHADA building, MHADA only gives the conveyance. There is no deemed conveyance at all. MHADA on its own gives the conveyance to the buildings of the MHADA land. Okay. And if the society is formed, it is the duty of the society, okay, to form the, get the conveyance from the MHADA. Okay. Now, when that MHADA, have you bought the flat by registered deed or ordinary deed? Let me know how you bought the flat.
It is a notarized deed, not a registered deed.
Because if you are done it notarized deed, okay, that means you are not the owner of that flat, first of all. Okay. Now you put that notarized deed with the letter, from your society stating that you are the owner of so and so flat. Kindly adjudicate and take the stamp duty and deficient stamp duty with the applicable fine on it on your notarized sale deed. Okay. And after paying that, where that building is located?
At the Baikela, near JJ Hospital. Yeah.
Acha.
Mazgaon.
Okay. So for you, that your collector of stamp, okay, the collector of stamp in old custom house. Okay. So there in the old custom house, you go there, okay, and that around that collector of stamp, that some clerks will be sitting who will do that work of doing that, what is that, adjudication of your sale deed. Okay. So they will put it to the collector of stamps, and after about 45 days, you will be asked to pay the stamp duty with fine. Okay. So that you pay, and you'll have to produce some document of that flat in your name to take lesser stamp duty. What are the documents to get to lesser stamp duty? That I am telling you right now. That MHADA's flat, that electricity bill is transferred in your name.
Yes, sir.
that electricity bill of long back, if you are not having, then you go to BST office and with your present bill and ask them to give you a certificate that from which date at this address in that your name, that electricity bill is issued. Okay, so they
Yeah.
will give you the letter on so and so date. This electricity bill at this address stands in your name, and that letter, when you are
Yeah.
putting it to the adjudication document, that from that day, that stamp duty will be on that day, stamp duty of your flat will be calculated, and some that 2% per month and maximum 400% that surcharge fine on the stamp duty will be taken. And once you pay the stamp duty and surcharge, then you are safe. Followed? And then if the society has not taken the conveyance from the building, from the MHADA, ask society to go for the conveyance, and the society is not going for the conveyance, then for MHADA building, there is a way of regularizing your flat, that with the sale deed, whatever you are having, okay, and after paying the stamp duty and the fine on the stamp duty, its Xerox copy you apply at MHADA office at Bandra East, and then that you ask who is your estate manager, and with that estate manager you have to apply it, and after that estate manager will ask you to pay some amount, maybe some 25,000 rupees charges for transfer in your name, and thereafter that a order will come to your society to transfer the share certificate in your name, and then the society will transfer the share certificate in your name. Transfer at MHADA end is not necessary if the society goes for conveyance of its building from the MHADA. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much. So if the conveyance is done by the society, so directly society can issue us the certificate.
If the conveyance is done, then that via MHADA you need not go. Some 25,000-30,000 rupees that transfer charges that MHADA is charging when conveyance is not done, that you know that did not be done. Okay, but you do this adjudication of your notarized sale deed, because you have to pay the full stamp duty to be eligible for transfer of flat in your name.
And if the conveyance deed is done, then directly society can issue a shared certificate without paying the stamp duty also?
No. If the society directly pays stamp duty, okay, it is just like this. You have seen at Churchgate station in the morning time, so many people come, okay? Who knows? There may be some 25% people without ticket, they may be going out, okay? But
Okay.
if the TC catches one and that day only you forgot the pass at home, then he will not ask you that I am having pass at home. I will ask somebody to no. Just now I caught you without ticket or pass. Pay the fine and go out. So that way it is done. So therefore, if the does that, then that transfer is wrong. Okay.
Yeah. And the owner, the original owner from whom this sale deed was done has expired. So that's not an issue, no? The owner from whom the flat is taken, the lady.
It doesn't matter. For paying the stamp duty, the person who is dead also, see, I am having so many people where that share is certificate transferred because of the nomination to the son. Okay. Father is dead. Okay. I asked them, because it is done on 10 rupees stamp paper, it is not valid document. Pay the stamp duty with fine. It will be regularized.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you very much.
I think, sir, we are done with the questions. We can end the session.
That here there will be some law students who have joined here, this group.
Yes.
See that you are having, especially ladies, okay, or especially those people who do the LLB job, they got some good job to be done in this stamp duty and registration work. Okay. See, this stamp duty and registration work and deemed conveyance work, okay, it is done only at limited offices, that is with the sub-register of cooperative societies, district sub-register of cooperative societies to get the conveyance order, then collector of stamp to adjudicate the conveyance deed or to adjudicate the individual seal deed to pay the stamp duty if stamp duty is not paid, and then transfer of property card at city survey office and 7/12 extract at Talati office, and then a survey of the land and the building by city survey office. These work leisurely you can do, and you have got a very high potential in these deemed conveyance work. Deemed conveyance work, any housewife can do. She can go to nearby buildings and ask for the deemed conveyance. Even for MADA work, MADA building, conveyance can be done from MADA. MADA, there is no deemed conveyance because conveyance is directly given by the MADA itself. All such work, if you need any primary guidelines, I am ready to give you free of charge guidance at Money Life Foundation's office on Thursday between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And if you need more guidance to such people after 6, after everybody with small questions, they go. I keep these people with long questions or long lectures to be given after 6 for about another 2 hours. Sit in that nearby garden and explain to them. And this you can surely get it and make your career in this stamp duty and registration work. And think of it of this stamp duty registration work, and I am there. I am available for you to give individual based guidelines and collective guidelines on mobile also, that PLEA Foundation can share my mobile number with the interested people so that you talk, you send me the message, and I will send you the whatever the needful guidelines for deemed conveyance work. And deemed conveyance work, that it takes within 6 months to a year, and you can get anything between 1 lakh to 2 lakh to start with for whole work. And then if the society is big, you can get more also, and matter is complicated, then also you can get more amount. And I'm guiding the people to do all such work. I have seen the deemed conveyance work, including some of the experienced advocate, they say that we have to make lot of money under table. I am doing cooperative housing societies work from 1984. Huh? This is 39th year that I am doing cooperative housing societies work, and deemed conveyance ever since it has started from 2011. I am doing it, and I have not come across a single Maharashtra government officer, whether it is from cooperative department or municipality or MADA or anywhere, asking me under table money, because my way of dealing is in such a way there is no chance for them to ask under table money. Okay, that I am doing it, that if the delay is done, then I go for that Lok Shahidin complaint with the collector, Lok Shahidin complaint with the municipal commissioner, and with this Lok Shahidin complaint, everybody comes to light. That ADR, alternate dispute resolution, government of Maharashtra is made when 1995. 1995 means almost 28 years that this one is done. Okay, that ADR is done by the government of Maharashtra. Very few people take it. That municipal commissioner and um, uh, collector, collector means district collector, who holds Lok Shahidin complaint first Monday of the month. And above him, if your complaint is not redressed, above municipal commissioner and collector, that divisional commissioner is there, Konkan divisional commissioner that sits in Konkan Bhavan, who holds on second Monday of the month. If that is almost 80% of the cases are resolved at collector's level, and remaining 20% when you take to that divisional commissioner's level, then that at divisional commissioner's level, out of which some 17-18% is resolved, remaining 2% that your complaint, you go to the highest this one stage of Lok Shahidin, done by Chief Minister of Maharashtra in his office on first Monday of the month in the morning. Okay, so this way that three places. Apart from this, that you are having that Lok Ayukta opposite to Mantralaya, that is new administrative building on which mezzanine floor Lok Ayukta sits. You can give the complaint to the Lok Ayukta. So I have done resolution of all the complaints without going to any court, followed with all these people, and my complaints are all resolved.